Hey, my name is Laurie Somma, and I am a sober coach and mental wellness advocate. And today I want to talk about seasonal affective disorder and gut health. And I have actually dealt with depression, dealt with mental health struggles my entire life. And it always got worse in the winter, but I never had a diagnosis for it. I never had a word for it or anything like that. But I always knew that it got worse in the winter. Um, and it wasn't until a few years ago when people started talking about seasonal affective disorder that I really realized that, oh wow, okay, yeah, that's what I have. I mean, I was still having mental health struggles throughout the entire year, but the fall and the winter were absolutely brutal, like brutal. I would be like so lost in brain fog and fatigue and severe depression where I didn't even want to get out of bed in the morning. Getting out of bed was like hard to do. And right now I'm homeschooling my kids, but a few years ago, 2 years ago, 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, I would take my kids to school and I would come home and I'd go back to bed. I wouldn't have any energy. I would have no concentration whatsoever. Everything was just so cloudy and so foggy, and I had no energy whatsoever. And I would find myself just crying hysterically for no reason at all, a few times a day. Sometimes I would lock myself in the bathroom when my kids were home or my husband was home, and I would just cry and cry. And I didn't understand why. It wasn't even like, oh, this happened, and so, whatever. It was just like, I was in this, I was, I was at rock bottom with my mental health. And I knew that it came on stronger in the fall and the winter. And once I got through that, it got a little bit better. It eased a little bit. So every fall and winter, like I would always have such anxiety. And I was so scared to go into the next fall or winter because I was just scared of what was going to happen. I was scared of how I was feeling. I was scaring myself so much. I was at rock bottom. I didn't know what to do. And I remember like 2 years ago, I remember 2 and 3 years ago, I remember texting my husband and saying, look, I think I need to be committed into a hospital. Like, I don't know what's going on, but I think I need to go. I think I do. Um, and then I would say, like, I would text him and be like, I think I need medication. Like, and I know you guys, I haven't really talked about this much, but I was on a lot of medication when I was from 16 to 20 years old. I was on a lot of antidepressant and antipsychotic medication because I was diagnosed and misdiagnosed as bipolar or schizophrenic back then. And I was on a ton of medication. And I actually really worked really hard to get off that medication. I haven't been on medication since I think 2002 or 2003. Um, and so for me, like I'm all into holistic ways to help ourselves. Um, I don't condone anyone using prescription medication when you need it for your depression. I'm not against it. Did I just say I don't condone? Anyway, you know what I mean. I'm not against people using prescription medication for your mental health and mental wellness. Sometimes it is a lifesaver, right? But for me, my choice is that I didn't want to go back on it. I didn't like the way that it made me feel. It wasn't what I wanted to do, and I was really worried, and I was just like at this bottom where I didn't know what else to do. And it was I was really struggling. For the past 6 years I've been an entrepreneur, and a lot of those times when I was really struggling in the fall and winter times with this seasonal affective disorder, I would cry and sleep most of the day, and then I'd wake up and get a little bit done, and or go live and try to be happy. And 5 minutes before I was crying, and I'm like, I gotta do this. Um, it was a really, really hard time. It was a really, really hard time in my life. So when I got to that point, um, when I got to that point 2 years ago, and I knew that I was like, I need to either be committed to a hospital, or I need medication. And I was like, but I don't want to go there just yet. Like, I want to try something. So for the past year, my kids have actually been taking a gut health supplement to help with their mental wellness. Um, and it's been doing great for them. So 7 months ago, I finally decided I'm going to stop being like this person who is trying so hard to not have other help, right? Because it's okay to need help with our mental wellness. It's okay to need, something else. But I didn't really understand that gut health was going to help me at all. Like, I was just like, I was at rock bottom, and I knew that I needed to do something, because 7 months ago was the summertime, and I was really, I was so afraid of going into another fall winter season being that rock bottom in seasonal affective disorder, and being that rock bottom in my mental health struggles. I didn't want to do that again. I was so sick and tired of the brain fog and the fatigue and the depression. I was just so sick and tired of not living the life that I knew that I could, and just living in this bubble that didn't even like, I wasn't able to really, really enjoy things fully. And I was sick of it. I was sick of it because I was done. And I was like, there needs to be something more. So 7 months ago, I started using the same company of supplements that my kids are using, but a little bit of a different variety for the adult sector, right? Um, and so I just started taking that, and I started using it daily and doing it consistently, using it consistently. It is a drink. It's one drink of three different powders that you put into the water, you shake it up, and you drink it. And it's gut brain health. And I didn't really notice the difference in the first month or two, but I was just very consistent with it. And I was like, I'm gonna do this. Gonna do this, right? And the the thing that I really noticed was, so I started it in June, and the thing that I really, really noticed by October was I started feeling better. I noticed that I was feeling better, right? I noticed that onset that usually happened in September-ish of getting really depressed and having brain fog and being really fatigued and getting really depressed wasn't happening. So by October, I noticed it. In November, I was like, okay, I'm kind of liking this. In December, I was like, holy shit, this is incredible. Like, so I'm like, I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for the seasonal affective disorder to take hold, because it's been that way, you know, for years and years and years. So I'm just waiting. I'm just like, okay, fine, let's figure out what it's gonna be here. And it never came. It never came. So now we are in the end of January, and I'm feeling great. I'm literally waking up with energy. I'm waking up with no brain fog. I am actually waking up happy, which I haven't really done in a really long, long time. Hasn't been, I've never in my entire life woken up happy consistently. I can tell you that. There's times when sometimes I'll wake up happy, but I've never woken up in a good mood consistently in my entire life. And that good mood, stays for the entire day. And I am able to not be as stressed out or react to stressful situations like I used to. Because, like, stressful situations for me is a trigger. It's like, oh, I just explode. And, like, now, me reacting to stressful situations, I'm so much better at that. because my stress level is so much lower. And I don't know. I don't know what it is about gut health, but I didn't realize that it actually was this important. And it actually was this life changing. But those three products that I powders, those three products that are powders that I put into that drink every single day, it's called Happy Juice. It's by a mental wellness company. It is all natural, which I love because I am not about anything that's I'm really into holistic medicine and holistic healing and natural healing and all that stuff. I really am. I would rather I'm a science believer and a doctor. Like I love doctors and medicine and everything like that is very important, but I also believe very heavily in that there are natural ways for us to heal our bodies and support our bodies. And I really love getting to that natural way so that you're not dependent on a prescription medication that has side effects for the rest of your life. That's just me. That might not be you, and you might completely disagree with that, and that is completely fine. But that's me. And I can tell you that I am so excited um, to have these kinds of effects from drinking a drink that I'm drinking every day, which is so easy to do because it literally takes 5 minutes to make, and you just drink a drink and you feel better. It's just incredible to me. So I wanted to talk to you about that, and I wanted to tell you about that because if you also are struggling with depression or mental health struggles or seasonal affective disorder, and you are in that brain fog and that fatigue and that low energy and crying and stressed out all the time and reacting to stress in a really not so great way, and you're at the point where you're done too, just like I was, this might be for you and it might be something that can help you. And as human beings, when we do something that helps us, to share that is the most beautiful way of helping to impact other people, especially when it's this big and this important, because mental health struggles and your mental wellness is so important. And we all can benefit from working on our mental health wellness. So, if you want to know more about this drink that I'm drinking, it's called Happy Juice. It's from a mental wellness company, all natural. I would love to tell you more. I'm going to drop a link down below in the description where I'm going to literally give you a link that gives you $10 off this Happy Juice drink that I'm telling you about today. So if you're like, yes, I'm ready, I want to get this right now, go to my description, click on that link, go buy that. It's a $10 off coupon for that, and I would love to help you in that way. But if you are skeptical and want to know more, or kind of curious and want to know more, go ahead and drop a comment in the comments below, and I will tell you all that you want to know and tell you, how to get this Happy Juice or whatever questions you have. I'm also going to link my Instagram page on here too. So you can follow me on Instagram and you can message me there. It might be easier for us to message back and forth there and connect on my Instagram. So thanks so much for listening. And if you are stuck in your mental health struggles, or you are stuck in seasonal affective disorder right now, I want you to know that you are not alone. I want you to know that you also, I also want you to know that you don't need to stay in those struggles. Even though, I thought for years, I just have to deal with this, I just have to get through it. You don't have to stay in it. You actually don't have to feel that bad. You get to feel good. You deserve to feel good. You just have to realign. And there's a lot about your gut health that signals to your brain that I'm learning about. I'm not an expert in that whatsoever. I didn't even know about it, but your gut health is so important to your brain, and it releases those happy hormones, those happy chemicals, and it balances everything out. And when that is unaligned, There's a lot of missed signals between your brain and your gut and all that stuff, and it can make you feel not so great. So getting that, kind of like healing that and working on that is so important. And I'd love to talk to you more about it because I am so excited. Like, I am so excited that for once in my life, I don't need to pretend to be happy because I actually am. And that is a big, humongous thing. I've spent my whole life trying to pretend like I was happy, numbing the feelings that I had with drugs, alcohol, self harm, anything else, food. I spent my whole life numbing, not feeling good, and trying so hard to feel good and pretending that I felt good. That now I actually feel good. And I just want to share it with you. And I want you to know that you don't have to stay feeling like you are right now. You don't have to stay in that rock bottom. You don't have to try to get through those winter months. You don't have to try to get through anything. Life is beautiful. It's not about getting through it. It's about it's about excitedly waking up every day and having fun and making your life the best life that it can be, that you so desperately want, that I so desperately wanted too. I understand it. So anyway, yes. Check out the description below. If you are ready to go ahead and get the happy juice, go on there. I'm going to send you, there's a link in my description below. You got $10 off on the happy juice. Try it. It's three different products. They're all powder. You put it into like a cup of water, you shake it up and you drink it. And believe me, it is, it can help you in so many major ways that, 3, 4, 5, 6 months from now, you could be a total different, part of life. You could be feeling great. Uh, you know, anyway, so yes, check out the description below. If you have any questions or anything, drop them in the comments below. And thank you so much for listening to this. Thank you so much for watching this. Go ahead and check out my other videos on my channel, and do not forget to subscribe. I am a sober coach and a mental wellness advocate. So that is what my page is all about. So yeah, I'd love to see you around, and thanks so much for watching. See ya.